Now let's write a program to find the index of a specific element. So basically what we need to do over here is nothing but linear search, but not in case of arrays but in case of linked list. So I should have a method called as Indexof and I should pass an element to that. So once I pass an element to that, the method should return me in which index that element is present. So basically the method will be Indexof and it will accept an index. So if this is a linked list, and if I say index of and if I pass 30, now the 30 is actually present in index 2. So there is no indexing by default, so I have to put the indexing. So if I put the indexing, this is index 0, index 1, index 2. So 30 is present in index 2, so it should return me 2. So in case if the element does not even exist, for example, I will say index of 50. 50 does not exist here, does not exist here, does not exist here, does not exist here. In this case, as how index method usually works, it should return -1. So I hope this particular situation or the question is completely clear. Now before you watch the logic, I would expect you guys to actually try implementing it on your own. While implementing, make sure that you draw a linked list like this, and after that you think about the logic, what is that you have to do step by step. And since there is no default indexing, you will have to create a index value as well. So make sure that you think about this and you write a code for this. In case if you are not able to, nothing to worry, I will continue it now. So what exactly you have to do over here is, let's assume this is the linked list. What I need to do is, I need to check whether this is the element I am checking for. So element, let's assume it is 30. So I will check, is this 30? Next I will check whether this is 30. No, if this is not 30, then I have to move ahead and I should check whether this is 30. Yes, it's 30. If it's 30, what should I do? I should return 2. But who is keeping track of 1, 2 and all? No one is keeping track. So what I need to do is, when I am keeping track of the node, so how can I keep track of a node? I need one variable called as current, which will keep track of all the nodes one by one. At the same time, I need one more variable called as count, which will keep track of all the indexes. So whenever the current node is pointing here, the count should be 0. Whenever current point is pointing here, the count should be 1. Whenever current is pointing here, count should be 2. Whenever current is pointing here, count should be 3. So I hope the scenario is completely clear. Now what is that I have to do is very simple. All I have to do is just write some conditions. And what is the condition? First thing is, I need to make sure current start pointing to this particular thing. Now how do I do that? By saying current is equal to head. So whatever is there in head will be there in current too. So both will be pointing to the first node. At the same time, when current is pointing to the first node, the count value should be 0. So what I need to do? I need to say count is equal to 0. So these are the two lines that I have to write. So since I have introduced count, I will say I will create it over here as well for our reference. So count will be 0 as of now. Now what I need to do is, I need to check whether the data present in the current is that the element I am checking for. So where do I have the element? I have the element inside variable ELE. So what I will do is, I will check whether current dot data is equal to ELE. So this would be the condition that I will be writing. Current dot data is equal to ELE. So is this the data? No, it's not the data. But if this was the data, then what I had to return? I had to return this value 0 because it was present in 0th index. So if this is the data, or if the condition is true, I need to write a return statement and I need to return 0. So what I will do is, I will say return, but I will not say 0 because it will be 0 now, later on it will be 1, then 2, it changes. But where is the value 0 present? Value 0 is present in count, so I need to say return count. So I hope till here it's completely clear. Now, in case if you do not find this element, definitely the if condition would not work. If the if does not work, what you have to do? You have to move to the next node. Now how do you move to the next node? Very simple. You need to say current is equal to current dot next. So I'll say current is equal to current dot next. So current would be over here now. Now what I need to do, when current is here, in which index it is present? It is present at index 1. So I need to make sure count also becomes 1. So how do I do that? Very simple. Whenever I am saying current equal to current dot next, I need to increase the value of count. So I'll say count plus plus. So count will be 1, current will be pointing here. I'll check whether the element I am checking for. How do I check? Then I need to repeat this operation again. So I need to say current dot data equal to ELE. So again same thing I am repeating. Is current dot data equal to ELE? No, it's not equal. So if it's not equal, definitely it will not return count. Then what will it do? It will move the current. So if I have to move the current, again I have to execute this statement. After that what happens? Since the current is pointing over here, the count should become 2. So what I need to do? I need to make sure count becomes increases. So count, I'll say count plus plus, so count becomes 2. Now after this, again what I have to do? Again repeat the same operation. I need to check whether this is the element I am checking for. So basically if you see what exactly you are doing is, these lines you are repeating again and again. Since I am repeating this again and again, I will put that inside a loop. So which loop I will put? I will put inside a while loop. What is the condition we will see at the last, but as of now I will leave the condition empty and I will execute this. So I will check whether current dot next is equal to the element that I am checking for. Sorry, not current dot next, the current dot data. So current dot data is equal to 30 and the element I am checking for is also equal to 30. Since both are equal to 30, then what happens? Condition is true, it will come inside return count. So in my count what do I have? I have 2. So since I have 2, it will return 2 and we have got the expected output. So I hope this is completely clear to you. So now the question is, when should I repeat this particular operation? Because I have written this much of code inside the while loop. Now how many times I should repeat this? Very simple. When current is here, I should do this. When current is here, I should do it. When current is here, I should do it. When current is here, I should do it. But when current goes out of linked list, I should not do it. Now how do I know current has gone outside linked list? When current goes outside linked list, the inside current what will be there is nothing but null, which we had seen at the starting while printing the linked list. So that's the same condition I need to write. Whenever current is equal to null, I should not do anything. But when it is not equal to null, when it's not equal to null, when it's not equal to null, when it's not equal to null, I have to do this particular operation. So what I should write is, I should write while current is not equal to null. That would be the condition that I have to write. Now, if you have found the element, this return statement will execute. But there might be cases you would not find the element. So if you do not find the element, what happens is this return statement will never execute. Since it never executes, the control will always stay inside the same method and at one point of time it will come outside the loop. If it comes outside the loop, it clearly means to say that it did not find the element at all. If it did not find the element, what I need to return? I need to return -1. So I will say return -1. So what I will do is, I will write return outside -1 outside the while. So I hope till here it's completely clear to you. So now let's go and write the code for this. But before I write the code, I would expect you guys to pause the video over here and write the code by yourself. And later on, if you are not able to write the code, only then continue watching the video. Now let's write the code to find the index of a specific element. So all I have to do is just go and write a method called as Indexof, which will actually return the index of the particular element. So let me go inside this particular class called as linked list. So inside this class, I'd like to create a method. So now the return type of the method won't be void because it would be returning you the index value. So the index value is always an integer value, so the return type also would be int. So I'll say int, then index of. Great. And it should accept one element. So which is the element that it's accepting? Whichever it has to check. So I'll say int element. Great. I'll come inside this. Now inside this, all I have to do is just check by traversing. So if I have to traverse for that, I need to introduce a new reference called as current. So I'll say current is equal to head. So note that current equal to head. Next, at the same time, I should have count as well because I need to keep track of index. So I'll say int count is equal to 0 because the starting index is 0. After this, I need to write a while loop. I need to make sure that the while loop executes till the last node. So it should go till the last node. For that, the while loop would look something like this: while the current is not equal to null. Whenever the current is not equal to null, I will open, close, and inside this I need to write my actual logic. So the logic is very simple. I need to check whether the current dot data. So I need to write an if condition. Current dot data is that equal to the element I am searching for. So I'll say equal to. This thing I have to put inside if condition, and if this is true, then what I need to do is I need to return the count value. So I'll put this inside the if condition. So I'll say if, and inside this I'll place it. And if I go inside this, over here what I have to do is just return the count value. So I'll say return count, because count will be having the index of that particular element. So I'll say return count. Great. So after this, whether this has returned or not returned. If it is returned, it will never execute this line. If it has not returned, definitely it will execute this line. So what should I do in this particular line if you ask me? In this line, I should move the current if I have not found the element. So I will say current is equal to current dot next. Current equal to current dot next. Next, I will come to the next line. Whenever I am moving the current, it means I am went to the next element. If I have gone to the next element, the index also will be increased by 1. So I need to increase the value of count by 1 by saying count plus plus. Count plus plus. Great. This is all I have to do. So you can clearly see if the element is found, then it will return count. But if the element is not found, there is no return statement at all. So what I have to do is, the element is not found, definitely it will break out of the while loop and come, and once it comes out of the while loop, it clearly means to say the element is not found. If the element is not found, I need to return minus 1. So it's a return minus 1. Great. So this is all the code that I need to write to find the index of a specific element. So let's go and execute this. To execute this, what I'd like to do is I'll like to go to the main method. I'll remove all these 3 lines. I don't want to print the linked list. Or once I will print the linked list, and after that I will print the index of that linked element. So I'll go to the next line, and I will say ll.indexof, and I will pass the element. So element I would like to pass as 30. So I'll pass 30 over here, and whatever it returns, it would return an integer value. I'd like to print that integer value. So the whole thing I'll put inside system.out.print. So it's a system.out.print, and I'll paste. So now let's execute this and check if we find this element or not. So if I execute this, you can see 10, 20, 30, 40 are the elements. So 30 is present in index 2. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So it's returning 2. Now let's see some other number which is not present. So I'd like to try for 300. So I'll put one more 0. Great. Now if I execute this, it should actually return me minus 1, which means the element does not exist. So you can clearly see it's returning minus 1. So it totally works over here. I hope this particular code is completely clear to you. This is nothing but the linear search when it comes to linked list. So make sure that you know all of these things very well.